Hi everyone, it's Juliette from the bookstore Bookish Kemper in Quimper, France. This is episode 2 of my A Most Bookish Moment podcast. I served myself an iced latte, which is on our menu. I'll have a little taste. Get some energy. Last night was our third trivia night. It was movie themed. We got some good prizes for the winners, and it was a really fun evening. I can't wait to do more. We'll have more in the fall. I even might have the theme thanks to some of the contestants last night. The only little thing that didn't go in our favor was the heat. It is so hot in Quimper. Yesterday it was 36 at most, and it's been tough, especially for the bookstore. It's really hot in here, but we're making it work. And today it's much cooler, which is really exciting. I'm going to talk about lots of things. I am on the hunt for a new book, and I'm a seasonal reader. So that means I like to read summer books, but my problem is that I'm someone whose favorite genre of books is sad people, doing their best. And usually sad people doesn't always equal summer. And by sad people books, I mean things like, anything by Niall Williams, and Louise Erdrich. Those are like my best sad people doing their best books. But then I did find a couple books recently that were set in the summer, kind of like, heat wave vibes, and that were really good. I read Minor Black Figures by Brandon Taylor. I read The Trees by Percival Everett. And I also read Greta and Walden, which is set in New Zealand, which was really fun. And that was our last book club, by the way. Another book that kind of fits in that vibe, which I mentioned in last video, was I Love You, Don't Die by Jade Song, which is a very Gen Z vibe book. And I really liked it, honestly. It has an element that I really love in books. It's when it's stories about, lives I will never live. That's what I love about reading. I can live a different life for a brief moment in my day, or a long moment in my day. And let me give you a Suitable Boy update. I'm almost halfway through. I'm going to take a break. That's why I'm looking for a book to read, so I can take a little break. But I'm still loving it so much. It really has this kind of Jane Austen quality to it, and she is mentioned in the book multiple times when one character, Amit, who's hoping to be a writer someday, is working towards that goal, mentions her to Lotta and his family. And I really think it has that kind of quality because at the time, and maybe today too, I'm not sure, but people were seeking these advantageous marriages and while still looking for true love. And I think that's something Jane Austen touched on a lot. And it went obviously beyond that, obviously Jane Austen and Vikram Seth both discuss things, like a changing society, how they can adapt and how they can be better in those situations. And so I really liked that. I find it such clever writing. It's funny too. I mean, there's a mention of one of the families where I even quoted it. It says, "It was an intelligent family where everyone thought of everyone else as an idiot." And I thought that was a very good description of the family. You immediately see who you're dealing with, and they're actually kind of my favorite family so far, even though they're not the main characters, but I'm hoping to see a lot more of them. Or there's also like the main character Lata goes on a date with this young man that her sister-in-law recommended, and he's described as this up-and-coming fellow, and it says Lata began to wish he were up and going. And I just like how clear everything is in this writing. I think it's it's a fun, clever book, and I can't wait to read the whole thing. It's actually a very fast read. I think I started like a few weeks ago, and yeah, I thought it was going to take me all summer, but I think I'll be done in July. So I'll have plenty of time for more books. And talking of more books, like I said, I'm looking for a new book. So you're going to come look for that with me in the store. So come with me around the store to find a book that I can read between my two parts of A Suitable Boy. I have a couple ideas. Let's go check it out. So my first maybe is one I've been meaning to read for quite some time. Let me put you down here. It is Under the Eye of the Big Bird by Hiromi Kawakami, and it is a translated work, which I find it great. And it has a bit of like a dystopian vibe with like the human race kind of dying down and people being between kind of like cyborgs and aliens. I don't know much. I like jumping into books where I don't know much. I think it's kind of exciting. So this is a big contender. I was also thinking maybe, let's go downstairs. I haven't turned on the light yet, but let's do it. Up. I feel like an option is always good to go with. When you're reading a big book, it could be interesting to read a short book. And last summer, I read All God's Children Got Pride by Chester Himes. That was really fun. And these short Penguin archive classics could be a good choice. I think if I'm going to do that, I will be reading Jane Austen's The History of England. I think that could be really fun. I've read parts of it, but not the whole thing. So I would love to continue that. Should I read a romance? That's always good to get, like, you know, it'll be a fast-paced read. But which one? I could obviously go with an Emily Henry. That could be fun. It doesn't really fit in with my idea of like seasonal reading because it feels like a winter book, because of the theme. I could always read The Long Game. I'm keeping it for now. It's a maybe. I think I'm gonna go for the translated book, the Under the Eye of the Big Bird. It feels more different. And hey, maybe it won't be the seasonal read I want it to be, but it's the one that's the most compelling so far. So that's what we're doing. Okay, choices made. Let's continue this podcast. So I revealed the new book club book, so that's going to be for September. It is Slanting Towards the Sea by Lydia Helia. If you follow us on Instagram, you have already seen it. We will be getting the copies very soon. There was a little bit of an issue, but I'm really excited for all of you to read it who wants to join the club or just to read it on your own. That's also totally fine. It's such a perfect summer read. This should be coming out the day of the intermediate book club, and our pick for this time is Holes by Louis Sachar. I think that's how you say it. That was one of my favorites growing up. I read it in English. I read it for sure in English. I read it in French. I watched the movie so many times. I can probably quote every single line. It is a true perfect book, and I think it's a book, you know, it's a middle grade book. It is about a young man who gets arrested for a crime he didn't commit, and he is sent to a kind of camp to reform young men, and where they're forced to dig holes over and over again every day. They have to have a specific hole height or depth, I should say, and his whole family believes that he is in this situation because of a generational curse. So through here you'll find out about the curse, and whether Stanley can get out of it, and why are they digging all these holes. It's still one of my favorite stories to this day, and a true classic, at least in the US. I hope you will join me in reading it. Oh, and we also do have the French version here at the store, if you know anyone who's interested in that type of kind of adventure story for middle grade or for any age. I'm gonna have so much fun reading this again this summer. Another fun thing I want to share. So a few weeks ago, I shared that my dad, John, who works here at the bookstore, published a book, and it came out as an ebook. You can buy it on most ebook platforms. It's set on a ship. It's the twin ship to the Titanic, and it's making its trip from the US to Europe, and a woman is accused of murdering one of the passengers, and she is, with the help of friends and the people who work for her, she will try to prove her innocence. And it has that, you know, whodunit vibe. I really enjoyed reading it, and I can't wait to hear what you guys think of it. And good news, we're getting the hard copies in a couple weeks, probably mid-July. So if any of you are interested, we'll have copies. And in September, we'll do like a little event for the book. That should be really fun. I am so impressed with my dad's work. I mean, I know he's a great author, and it inspires me because I've always wanted to write a book too. So the ideas are flowing, and you know, being surrounded by books every day and reading stories every day is definitely an inspiration too. So I think that would be great to get started this summer for myself. Are any of you writers? Do you write short stories? Do you write, or is it a goal in your life to write a book? Obviously, it's hard because there's so many books that come out every it feels like every day there's new books. At least every week there's new books, and we're always trying to catch up. I think we can all relate when it comes to ever-growing TBR lists, and I know mine is ever evolving. Even books, like sometimes I never thought I'd want to read that, and I'm surprised by how interesting it was. And like I said earlier, all I want in a book is to experience something I never will, and I think that's so much fun. So yeah, let me know in the comments if you're reading anything fun this summer. If you want recommendations, come by the bookstore. We're at 5 Rue du Chapeau Rouge in Quimper. And I hope you have a great week.